Welcome back, fellow lords of gaming. Let's jump into the good, the bad, and the ugly epic invasion. Now, I want to start this off as my weekly, as a series for the game, because it's going to kind of serve as a current state of the game, kind of talk and things that break down the good, the bad, the ugly, obviously, and then give my suggestions. So specifically, we're going to jump into the Mad Titan. The Mad Titan is actually a very good game mode, in my opinion. It is a new mode that they basically add that gives a level of difficulty to higher end players and pay to play players and free to play players across the board. I think there is a bit of a problem with the implementation of the system, but in terms, the gameplay is actually fun. Now, when we talk about the good, I'm going to say this outright, and I'm going to promise there's going to be people in the comments that disagree, but the rewards are pretty good. Let me explain before you jump down my throat. So if we talk about the game from a free-to-play perspective and what you're going to get immediately just for participating in the rewards, you're going to get a 4-star costume, a 5-star costume, a 4-star core, a 4-star comic, a 4-star 5-star comic, a 4-star core box, and a 5-star core box. Those are pretty good rewards. You might not like that they have the worst draw rates in the world and that they have bad selection choices because of what you might get, but you're still going to get a 5-star core for basically completing the event. It doesn't even make a difference which level you play at. You're going to be able to complete those events and get 5-star boxes at every event. Most players in the game are going to be able to get, at the minimum, probably a costume draw ticket and a card draw ticket along with a costume box and a comic card box from whatever level they are capable of playing. Those are pretty decent rewards. Even in the Mad Titan special, the Mad Titan special missions come with good daily rewards in terms of giving players things like, you know, squad rank up books, and pin particles, like or you know, the squad upgrade particles. Those come about every day, along with, you know, other tickets like, you know, card draw tickets and stuff like that. Those are pretty good, you know, dimension box tickets you can see here, and even costume tickets. So those are pretty good rewards. I know that you are automatically gonna look at some of these like, these rewards should be better. It's free to play. They're asking you to do nothing but just play the normal game modes inside here in order to complete these levels. Now, even when you look at the relay challenge event, what you're getting in terms of some of these cards from the boxes, those are pretty decent, along with the daily that they give you 100 gold and one free box that they're giving, along with the rewards here, where you're basically seeing at the end, we're going to get this Omega supply box. I don't understand why, but we got 1 ticket a day. So basically, and then over the course of getting these seals, you're going to basically be able to get some more. So that kind of leads us into the bad, right? Because at first glance, you're going to look at some of those rewards, and if those were it, that was just the rewards where they were going to give those free-to-play things to you, you would say, yay, those are good rewards. But the bad part is that you know that there's an end game here, and the end game is specifically for you to get these region costume selection boxes, right? It's for you to get the top prize in the game that you really, really want. And this is where it gets bad and ugly, because unfortunately a lot of players are not going to be able to reach this reward. They did not put this mode within reach of all players. This region costume box is pretty much within the reach of the top elite whales and pay-to-play players that are currently playing the game. Why do I say that? If you are not at 1,000,000 power, there is very few ways in which you are probably going to feasibly reach the mark of 1,600 points inside the Mad Titan seals. And let me explain. Basically, the way the game is working right now, you have the number of ways to earn Titan tickets, right? So you can get 9 Titan tickets from the Mad Titan special event across 7 7 days, and then you get a daily of about 4 or 5 tickets from there. So no matter what you do on the math in terms of tickets that you're getting across the space, you're going to still fall short unless they come up with some way to give us those tickets of about maybe 10 tickets. Let's round it off to say 10 tickets. And that means the only other way that you can get tickets outside of them giving them to you is to go make these purchases inside the shop, right? So that's how we're starting to get to see the bad part about it, right? Because basically, as most players are going to jump into this game mode and they're going to be looking at where they can get in terms of the difficulty, and they're going to look where they're probably stuck somewhere between here, 3 and 4, right? Because 4 is probably going to be where most people in the game are. 3 is probably where most people are going to be comfortably at. But if you're not able to be doing some of these, because remember, from the total ticket pool, you're going to be removed 1, 2, 3, 4 tickets at a minimum, because you have to complete them in order to get to this stage, right? So it already puts you somewhat behind the power curve, right? And so that means that you're locked into trying to earn all of the tickets by doing 100 tickets, because you would have to do 100 runs at 16 in order to get just the seals needed for that special box, the one that everybody's really gonna want, right? And that box that everybody's really gonna want is the costume selection ticket. So this is where we get into the bad, right? The bad is that you start looking at some of the rewards in terms of the late game rewards and what they are trying to give out, and you're like, there's no way for me to really earn those rewards. Like, for instance, I see this inside here. I see New Stark City. I see New Stark City 2. I see New Stark City 3. I'm seeing all of these different levels. And I, even as a higher end player, look at this and go, there's no way for me to earn those rewards. I'm already grinding my way to try to earn these rewards inside the 110 area. And I don't have a means to go back to the lower levels and try to earn those rewards. So I'm going to be locked out at this point. And because even the way I'm looking at it right now, I'm not probably going to be able to even earn all of these rewards, because when I look at them, you can see here, I don't have all these badges. Right? These badges are not in my inventory. Like, I don't have these in order to get these 6-star battle badges. You know what I mean? Like these 4 stars, these 3 stars, I'm getting them. I'm accumulating them. These 5 stars, like I can tell you right now, I'm not even going to bullshit you guys. I only have 1 battle badge inside here at 6-star that I actually got from playing. Most of the battle badges that I've accumulated from this mode have been 3 and 4-star battle badges. These 5-star battle badges, and these came from me purchasing the packs last week, so that way I can get some more of these tokens, so that way I can generate content for you guys. But when I look at those things and I think about it from a free-to-play option or even a lower spending pay-to-play player, there's no way you're going to be receiving those things. When players look at the Mad Titan special and they see the ultimate end goal for completing all of the 7 days events, and they see a 4-star comic card, 4-star common comic card, they're not going to be exactly ecstatic about that. When players go inside the inventory event and look at the special request and they see that the end of the week is going to be an Omega supply box that's 3 to 5-star, it's not a regional costume box or anything like that. It's just a normal costume box, and we all know that's going to be a 3-star costume, right? The same thing when they get over here and the players realize, I'm not going to be able to accumulate 1,200 seals. Or maybe I will, but I'm not going to be able to accumulate 1,500 seals, right? And so now you're starting to look at how you're way behind the power curve inside those things. And you start to look at the game and you go, it's not that rewarding in terms of that event. Now let's get down to the ugly of it, right? Because the ugly of it is always going to come back to the RNG of the game. And what I mean by that is that when we look at, let's say if you're top whale player, right? Even if you're top pay-to-play player, right? Top whale player, or you're just a player that's willing to grind this out like I am, because I'm making content for you guys. I'm still having fun playing the game, but there is some problems here. I still have to craft this end event, and it's still costing me gold inside here to craft that. I still got to pay 800,000 gold, right? And now I get to select this box, right? And I get to select which one of these pieces, these items that I want inside here is from. Most likely for me, I'm probably going to end up selecting the Savage Shadowland if I can make it there. But here goes the part that really kicks it off for you, right? That really puts it behind, is that when you are doing this, even as a free-to-play player, or excuse me, as a pay-to-play player or whale, you're still locked into this point in the game where you're saying, I still got to rely on luck. because I can craft this uniform, I can put in all of this work, and when I get here to this bonus stat, these bonus stats could be totally trash, and it could mean that I can acquire this piece of uniform, I can acquire this gear, but it does nothing for me, meaning that there's no use for it because it's not going to help accelerate my player beyond the levels that they currently are. So the game gets really ugly because a lot of the end rewards in the game are completely RNG based, and they're not even just single RNG based, they're layered behind RNG, meaning that it's not one layer of RNG that you have to get through, it's 2 or 3 layers of RNG that you have to get through, and it doesn't feel satisfying. There's an end state portion. There's an end state point here where you start to feel like the rewards are not worth your effort. And in this regard, I can tell you right now, even as a top player, to get to 1600, I don't really consider myself a top end player, but I do consider myself probably within that pool of players that are paying. I'm obviously creating content, so I'm obviously trying to pay in order to create content. But when you look at that, I'm spending an inordinate amount of time on this game mode to try to get here. Right now, I'm currently in the ranking like 64. But even when I look at that reward list and I look down the barrel of what I've put in the time for, and I'm getting 6 costume tickets, it's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. You can generate that many costume tickets from other game modes easily. And you know, the rewards are not there, and especially the number of times that I've failed the final mission. It's one of those things because you're basically spending about 7 to 8 minutes, you know, roughly 6 to 8 minutes on this mode if you're trying to compete at the top end mode right here. And it's just not that there's not the end state in your head that this is going to have ultimate value for me, knowing that I'm only going to get a 4-star comment. I'm only going to get a 4-star costume piece. That costume piece might not even be good. And then that means that in order to get that costume piece, I have to get it to 5-star. I have to get it to 6-star, even if it is good. All right. So I have to go through 2 more layers to get it there. And we all know how much effort is going to go into getting a 1 piece of costume gear to 5-star and 1 piece of costume gear for 5-star, 6-star. It's going to take an inordinate amount of time. So at the end of it, is the effort really there? Those pieces probably should have been 5-star pieces. So I think the game mode is fun. I am having fun playing this mode. I wish that this was a raid mode, that this was just adding into the raids, where Thanos would have been a raid and this would have been the raid. And they gave us this new legendary difficulty of raid or something like that. And that's what this was. This is basically a ripoff of seven Deadly Sins content, where they did the exact same thing and players would compete. Even worse, they didn't implement it correctly. They basically didn't tell players the way that points would be accumulated and maximized out, other than to tell you that the clear battle faster, score higher. That's it. That's all they told. But there are other ways in the games that you can accumulate points that should have been listed out and spelled out. It's not done here. This value that's in here for the 1.2 million seems so arbitrary at this point, because it's such a leap from where step 4 is to go to step 5. That power level jump is just ginormous. It almost doubles the power value needed to play step 4 to step 5, and it feels like that was tacked on later on in the game's development, not in the original intent, because I don't feel like they really felt players were going to be able to reach this power level this soon. But if they didn't, then they knew that they put items at the end of the game that people weren't to get. Everybody should have had the ability to hit that 4-star region costume selection box, whether they were pay to play, free to play, or in between. Everybody should have been able to obtain that. That would have gave everybody a reason to play the mode, engage in the mode, and feel like they were going to get something towards the end, so long as they logged into the game every day and played. Everyone should have been able to reach that end goal. Netmarble needs to understand that. Put the carrot in front of the horse and let the horse chase the carrot. But you can't take the carrot away and put it behind, because now it's just chasing its tail. And at some point, it's going to realize it's chasing its tail and give up on the chase. And that's the problem that Marble has currently with introducing this game, is that at the end, a lot of players are realizing they're chasing their tails to get to nowhere, and it doesn't feel rewarding, and they're giving up on the chase. Everybody should have been able to obtain that 4-star region costume selection box, and this would have been a game mode that people would have been happy about. They would have been playing it happily every day, even if it was a random reward, even if it was, you know, trash at the end. If everybody had the ability to gain that reward so long as they played every day, they would have been happy. That's the truth of the matter. And Netmarble slipped the ball on there because they literally wanted to cash in on just a little bit. They literally wanted to make that cash in because it was very obvious to everyone, play to play, free to play, and whales, that in essence, this game mode was introduced with a method for you to have to pay to win. And that is disingenuous. There you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Stay tuned for more videos on this series because I'm going to have fun bringing them to you. And I want to be honest about the game. Until next time, guys, peace.